Alright, hi Darius and everyone. Welcome back to part 2. Okay, we hope that you had a great discussion just now. Okay. Alright, so just to have a quick summary of part 1. So what did we actually discuss? So we discussed that God's kingdom is not characterized by consumerism but worship. And we briefly touched about it's not what makes us feel good during service, but why we are even attending service. And also that we need to be reminded not to be a consumer, but to be a man or woman after God's heart in this journey. Right? So that's the end for the part 1. So part 2. Okay, and before we start part 2, we hope that you all of you will participate through using your iPad, iPhone, tablets, extra laptops or whatever. Okay? But there are 2 points we'll be going through. The first point will be consumerism versus worship in terms of attitude and focus. And part 2 will be talking about consumerism versus worship, discernment and choices. Alright, so okay, Darius. So what do you think about our attitude and focus to God in service?
Yeah, I think really when we worship in service or wherever the case, when we worship, the reminder is for us to shift our focus and attitude towards God. Okay, it's always about who He is and not about who we are. And we all have our own reasons to worship, but certainly it's a struggle when we attend service. But the important thing to note when we come to service is really where is our heart during worship. Okay, so we're actually gonna have a little activity right now. We're gonna answer a simple question together. Okay, so the question is, think back about the times that you worship during second service, or be it second service or online service. What are your thoughts during praise and worship? Okay, so it's a multiple choice. There's 4 options. First, when you are worshiping, you're actually thinking about reflecting on the lyrics when the songs are being played, the hymns are being played. Second, you're thinking about actually going to the toilet. Third, you're thinking about wow, what this music doesn't make sense, it's not nice and all that. Okay, on number 4, you're actually talking or using your phone or playing your phone. I was guilty of that once. Okay, so I think we all have that. Okay, but it's really important to know that sometimes we can face similar issues, or we have this kind of attitude when we come towards worship. But what's more important is we must pay attention, okay, in worship, and we must focus on who He is. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the second part of today, where we think about what is consumerism and worship. Okay, consumerism versus worship. Okay, so Azhar will share more about it.
Okay, thanks Darius for that. Okay, so worship or worship music remind us that we need to worship Him in truth and in spirit. Right? That means that we need to know what is truth and we must really focus on it during worship. Okay, so for this part, we'll have 2 activities. We have 2 games. Okay, so let me start with the first game. Okay, so the first game, me and Darius, or rather Darius, he will play 4 different songs for you, and the whole idea is to let you choose which one do you all prefer. Okay, so Darius, you may start.
Okay, this is the first song.
See the sun now bursting through the clouds, black and white, turn to color all around. All is new in the Savior I am found.
Okay, this is the second song.
If you wanna run away with me, I know a galaxy and I could take you for a ride. I had a premonition that we fell into a rhythm where the music don't stop for life. Glitter in the sky, glitter in my eyes, shining just the way I like.
Okay, the third song.
一步又一步，这是恩典之路。你爱，你手，将我紧紧抓住。一步又一步。
And finally, the last song.
你骄傲的飞远，我栖息的夏天，听不见的宣言，重复过很多年，被危险的思念
right. Okay, thanks, Darius. Okay, so just to repeat the question for this game. So which of these 4 songs do you prefer and why? All right. Okay, so I think we can move on to our next game, our next activity. So in the next activity, Darius will, me and Darius actually have picked out for a few different lyrics for you, and the whole idea of this activity is for you to guess which of these is kind of Christian lyrics or is a non-Christian lyrics. Okay, so Darius, please will you show us the lyrics?
Alright, okay, so this is the first song. Okay, so is this song a secular song or a worship song? Okay, this is the first set of lyrics. Okay, the second set of lyrics is this. Okay, the third set of lyrics. 就算多一秒停留在你怀里，失去世界也不可惜。Okay, and lastly, this is the last song. Okay, so what do you all think?
Honestly speaking, these 2 activities, why we do these 2 activities? I guess the first activity for this part is to kind of reflect the different kind of music styles, be in a non-Christian or in the Christian settings. We have a lot of choices we can choose. But seems to put into perspective of Christian worship. Again, there's a lot of different kind of music and styles. But the whole idea is that we have our own preference, but the truth is worship music is beyond what we like, what makes us feel good. It goes beyond the kind of style that we maybe kind of gravitate towards, correct? And part 3 is just to go a bit in depth on the truth aspect, in that a lot of times when we worship, there are certain songs where we might think might be biblical, but it might not be, or vice versa. And it's very important for us to go back to the Bible as the source of truth. Correct. And it's not just about music, but in life in general, that we need to carry on and hold on to God, because God is our truth. God is truth, and when we worship, must worship in truth. And when we sing our praises God, we know what we are saying and must believe in what we are saying. Correct. So again, thanks Darius for helping us. And so Darius, do you have any final question you want to share with them?
Yeah, there's actually one last question for all of you today. Okay, so this is something for you all to think about and discuss together as a group. So what can you do for future services, whether it's online or physical, to truly worship God in truth and spirit? Okay, I repeat the question. What can you do for future services to truly worship God in truth and in spirit? Yep.
All right, thanks Darius, and maybe you all can have a 15 minutes discussion on it before we come back for our third and final part of the lesson. All right, thank you for your time. Have fun.